Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, we have hijacked TC again. TC Talks is with me, the other Stu, and Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hello, we're taking over.
Stu is out on business. Literally out on business. He's out of the office. So, we got to take over the airways somehow. Keep the seat warm, as they say. Up to mischief, yeah. But welcome. This is episode 23. 23. I can't believe it's been 23 episodes we've been nattering on for. It's pretty good going, I think. Getting it. This week's feature, when we get to it, is going to be about Fanboys.
Blooming Fanboys, that's what it's going to be about.
And not the really awesome film. If anybody's ever watched Fanboys, I really like that film. Maybe because I like Star Wars a little bit, I don't know. But yes, I do like that. But I don't have the cool, wishy sound effects, so I'm going to do it myself. Pew! Welcome. Jay, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. Usual. What is it, Tuesday?
Yes.
So... Two days.
Do you know, I actually thought it was Wednesday today.
And
then I got disappointed it was Tuesday.
Yeah. I've got to work out.
Oh, no, that is even worse, yeah. At least I managed to clock off at like 4, so that's not so bad.
Yeah. I'm all hopped up on Pokemon at the moment. A friend of mine who streams as well has been opening Pokemon cards and talking about Pokemon and playing Pokemon and stuff.
Does he buy like old packs and open them?
He buys the more modern ones, but the boxes where it's all the packets, and then he opens them, and he doesn't play the game, whereas I'm more interested in playing it because I like board games and things. So I've ordered a load, which should come tomorrow. I've been playing Sword and Shield because I never got around to finishing it. It's all about Pokemon for me at the moment. I'm all hopped up on it.
I just want to welcome Prophet into the chat. God of Mods. Yes, I am good, thank you. Like I said, I thought it was Wednesday today. And I got all panicked because my dad's birthday on Thursday. And I was like, oh no. And then my brother's like, no, but it's Tuesday. Oh, it's okay. But yeah, I have literally been playing Crusader Kings 3. Yeah.
Thanks.
Literally thanks to Game Pass that saved me £41, or has it? But yeah, it's Game Pass, and Game Pass has some crackers coming up soon as well, including I know you don't play it, I don't play it, but I know some people do play it. It's a Destiny DLC, which it's fantastic because it's crossplay too. So even if you've got it on Steam, you could just link it up and rock and roll.
Okay, I didn't realize
so that's why everybody's jumping on about it. It's like, hey, we don't have to pay for this.
Is it cross-play so you can play PC with
I
console?
don't think it's cross-progression. I don't think they got it with console yet, but there is talks it is coming, which would be kind of cool if it did.
Because that would be quite strong for Game Pass, because if it's coming on Xbox and PC,
I can only assume, especially with, I think you said about rumors, we'll go to the news bit for this later on, about Bungie and Microsoft, maybe there might be a crossplay. I think there was talks, and that's all I know. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Prophet's on about Game Pass. Yeah, it's everywhere. Honestly, Prophet, go grab the Game Pass. We are not affiliated in any way at all with Microsoft, but we love it. It's just, and you got, apparently there's rumors EA Play's coming 26th of November. That is the rumor.
That's interesting. Yeah, so obviously that was confirmed. That EA Play is joining Game Pass, but they kind of kept a vague holiday 2020 sort of
It's not confirmed, but I've seen that date fly around on my travels, as you do when you see new stuff. So keep it as a leak.
The cynic in me did wonder if they were going to launch it after things like the new FIFA is out and all this sort of stuff.
Quite possibly, which is
all of that's gone
this month, actually. FIFA, and Madden is coming out as well already because both football seasons have started. So it's out this month. It's usually towards the end of September. I know this. I usually buy them both for my birthday. Usually, so and that's October. So yeah, so that would make sense being after that date. So
yeah, because the cynic in me is like they'll get all their games out, they'll make sure they don't damage those sales, etc., etc., and then they'll bundle
which
it in at the last
which will
possible
have the
moment.
10 hours free to play, which would be kind of cool, just by default.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Profit just said FIFA 20 is £5 on Xbox. It's actually now including EA Play on both PC and console, which is great already. So those already included. See, last season. So yeah, looking quite tasty again for people who like playing those games. It saves a fortune every year because they're basically the same game every year, except for literally team update. It's not much different most of the time.
That's what's quite interesting about
PES
Pro Evo, because they're really just
they literally just said there's no game change except for here's a new team. Pay us. I think on Steam it's like £24, but looking around, CD Keys got it for 16. That's fine. Like it's better than paying £40 for the same game. You know?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously, they release these games every year because they sell at the end of the day. But it's those sorts of games are the ones that this whole game as service principle would actually work out brilliantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Just rolling updates, keep changing things, patch stuff in, focus on the online, to draw people in.
Yeah, that I mean, I buy them, and this will save me so much money, so much money. That's for sure. Which we can actually segue into the news. Actually, let's just start off with EA. So Origin on PC, as it's called, Origin, is actually being changed over to EA Play and EA Desktop. So they actually looks having a massive rebrand of getting it all under one banner, which always confused me, to be honest, because it was always a different name on PC than it was on console, which is weird.
Yeah, to be honest, I hadn't even realised the name had changed. So when they said EA Play is coming to Game Pass, I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
Because I knew it.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So I had it originally when they first signed up, and then I dropped off. I didn't even realise they had different names. So the fact they're rebranding sort of makes sense.
It was always confusing because they acted a little differently between the two as well. Now it's all like you do get the basic on PC, but you had a little bit more than one console did. I think maybe because of weird licensing. Right. Who knows? Now it's one banner, which it's better. It's just better, you know.
Yeah, that is better. Yeah, makes it.
Yeah, Profit in the chat. Even though Game Pass is more than a demo used to be. Yeah, okay. This still provides a bit of a role at renting games on Block as it used to do. I might not have wanted to risk buying Subnautica, but if I'll be able to try it on Game Pass, this is exactly that. Yeah. This is the I don't know if I like playing this game. Maybe I'll try it on Game Pass. Do I like it? You may just carry on paying for Game Pass. That's what Microsoft wants you to do, which why not? You know? Or you might be able to get, like I said, FIFA there, Fiverr, maybe just want to continually own it. You never know. And I think this is where I was talking to one of my buddies who doesn't always have time to play games these days with kids, stuff like that. And even he said that if he picked up Game Pass, he doesn't have to worry about saving up 50, 60 quid for the game. Especially the Microsoft first-party games, they're just going to be there. And he doesn't have to worry, I just spent £60 this game, I need to find time. Now he's like, now I can casually enjoy playing this game without trying to do it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice, you know?
Yeah, because I've not really touched EA games in a while, just because they haven't really made much that appeals. But I had a quick gander, on the subject of EA. There's a few games there I've missed that I'm going to give a go. Now it's just bundled into
and I think that is going to be the key, right? But there, people are just going to have a go and realize these nice gems. Like I love the Battlefield series. Battlefield 5 is just in there. And I only bought that a few weeks ago, which is like but Bit of a shame. But also, like, do you know what? I've paid about 50 hours of that too, so I've probably had my £7 worth already. But it's kind of good, you know, basically, historically, now I don't know if they're going to do this going forward, but certainly when I have had Origin access, about a year after something is out, it usually goes into the vault, as they used to call it.
Right.
So where, like, if you had the premium, big bad boy, you can have all the betas, the alphas, all that sort of stuff. With the one down, so the EA Play, just the basic one they call in, you could have basically everything after a year, roughly. And I hope they keep that, because, you know, it's especially like you said with the FIFAs. Are you going to be wanting to pay last year's? Maybe people will now, because they don't have to pay extra for it, you know?
Yeah.
So...
yeah, someone who's a bit more casual that just goes, "Oh, I'll have a quick match of this against the."
It's
computer.
Exactly that, you know.
That's enough, isn't it?
I mean, obviously the hardcores are going to be buying it, but that's that. Another news, odd news. This is about Monster Energy drink. Yes, that classic Monster Energy drink.
Kind of.
This is a weird. So Ubisoft was bringing out a game called Gods and Monsters. And basically, Monster told them, you can't do that. And they filed a legal challenge against it, which apparently, according to a lawyer, they would have won. But I think Ubisoft had it. They must have deals and stuff with Monster and stuff. They probably just went.
Yeah, they probably
just went. Sorry, we'll just change the name.
Of all the.
But I also don't understand it, because I would never associate Monster Energy with gaming as such. I mean, you do get sponsors. I see it more of extreme sports, like the X Games. If I had to go and say, if I know it from somewhere, it'd be like the X Games kind of stuff. But yeah, really bizarre lawsuit.
It's weird as well, because Gods and Monsters is probably one of the most generic names you could have given.
You might just call them apples and pears.
So,
like, what?
So I'm surprised that, I mean, I'd hazard a guess that there is something somewhere called Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
Like a book or a TV show or something. You know, that it feels like that term has been used somewhere.
I know what you mean.
And then Monster Energy comes along and goes, We've got
a drink and we do some gaming. Damn. Yeah, okay.
So no one was going to get confused by that.
Yeah, exactly, Prophet. Exactly.
Prophet Troll saying sue Monsters Inc.
I know, isn't it? It's I don't know, but I think it just looks like Ubisoft went, look, we want no fuss. We'll just change it. Cool.
Yeah. And to be fair, they've called it, if memory serves, they've called it Immortals Phoenix Rising or something like that.
That's exactly.
Which is a little. It's got weird spellings.
Yeah, Phoenix with an X.
It's going to be probably a bit more.
Yeah, so it looks like, actually, do you know what? Yeah, sounds maybe a bit better. Bit less generic. I don't know.
Gods and Monsters just sounds, very generic. But it's all, the game looks pretty good.
It does. It does look quite good.
Was that part of Gamescom maybe? But recently
I think it was Gamescom, yes. I think it was.
Good. Looked like Breath of the Wild, but Greek mythology sort of stuff.
Kind of sounds cool. Yeah, kind of sounds cool. My other little tidbit of news, before if you've got anything, it's another bizarre one. I'm going to give you another bizarre one. So the Call of Duty League, quite massive, moves to PC in 2021. However, no one's allowed to use keyboard and mouse. They have to use a controller with aim assist. They have to.
So they
have to use aim assist in a tournament. Apparently, they do that now anyway. Apparently, that's according to PC Gamer anyway. Whether or not they having a laugh, I'm not too sure. But yes, so everybody's got to move to PC. So I guess bigger graphics, all nice and thing. But they've got to use control pad with aim assist.
Kind of defies the point.
Absolutely defies the point of why you are having a tournament, because that's basically, and I'm a pro wrestling fan, that's basically almost on the realms of wrestling in the way that it can be almost predetermined, you know? Like almost, not quite, but almost on that area of fantasy, you know?
But like, especially now as well, you've got the new consoles coming out. So the next tournament, because we're talking 2021.
Yes.
This will be the first next gen, if you like, Call of Duty. So the consoles would have looked, they probably look brilliant, when that game lands. If you're forced to use pads anyway, why not just
consoles,
I'd imagine it's all, all marketing and
sponsorship
and all that. It'll probably turn out it's sponsored by Nvidia.
I was just going to say there's going to be multiple levels of backroom stuff going on. What I had, a low stakes conspiracy denying our Discord, by the way. If you come to our Discord, lots of lovely chat going on there. Profit or Les J's going to do it. We're going to do it. Yes, I know people on the pod won't be able to see it, but come to our Discord. You find us on Twitter with our Discord links. But basically, I had a low stakes conspiracy of I think the console wars is AMD versus Nvidia. So that's multiple levels of But you don't know. It's a very odd decision why they moved to PC but have aim assisted controllers. It's a bit
they're weird. Somehow sponsored by both Nvidia and Xbox controllers.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Let's just do that. That seems about as logical as Monster Energy suing Ubisoft. Let's have some strange news. Yeah, it does make sense. Do you have any news for us? Any more for the people of the world?
Well, the in the console space, tomorrow is a big day. PlayStation 5 has a show. Well, I think they've called it a showcase.
Right, okay.
So I'd imagine it'll be similar to before, probably an hour long. Various games will be shown, and hopefully the elusive price and release date.
And everybody is talking about it. Even PC gamers are talking about it. So, literally everybody, it's the console wars, and it's going to start heating up tomorrow, basically.
Yeah. It's last week, Microsoft kind of had their hand forced due to some leaks, but we heard about the Series S and X. We've got their release date, their pre-order dates coming up, prices, blah, blah, blah. So this will be Sony's equivalent. The interesting thing is, though, Microsoft haven't really, not since July, I think it was, they haven't really shown any games.
Yes.
Exclusive or otherwise, they've not really shown any games.
This is the interesting part. And I guess this is why they're hammering down on the Game Pass. They double down in, I feel, a little bit, because they're like, right, if we've got no games to sell, well, the PC boys would love a lot of free game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that a little bit. Let's get some money in. But to be fair, they offered such a great pass. But yeah, I don't know where they're going. They're going to have some games. They're going to drop some clanger, surely.
Yeah, because they showed 9, I think it's if I'm remembering this right, I'll probably be corrected online.
Please correct us online on Thumb_Culture on Twitter.
They've got, as I understand it, something like 16 game studios.
Right.
We've been shown 9 of them are working on. We've been told that the other 7 we will find out about, some of which they said will be this year. Okay. And with pre-orders opening next week, you would have thought they'd want to do it before then.
Yeah, it's the next, 22nd, isn't it? The pre-orders?
You should pre-order. Yeah. A week today, I think.
As a person looking forward to an Xbox, what would make them pre-order right now?
Yeah, that's the thing. Point, I'm probably not the target audience in a way, because I'm going to get both machines regardless. But average Joe, who's keen to get a new machine, they're very accessible, good technology, Game Pass, of course. But what else is there? It seems there's a small gap there. I mean, you've got stuff like Gears Tactics landing on day one, and all these partnerships with like Assassin's Creed and Dirt and things like that. But what does next year look like? What does December look like?
At the moment,
out in November?
Doesn't seem too different from what it is right now, in my view on it. I guess I don't look deep enough because I'm not into that zone. But for me, looking at it, it's not going to change this year, I feel.
No.
Unless they've got something
And that's the
brewing.
thing,
You know?
yeah. But it means that the last event before you can pre-order an Xbox is a PlayStation showcase telling you why you should order a PlayStation.
Maybe that's what they're banking on. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some marketing genius out there somewhere that's like, we got to wait to see what Sony does. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, isn't it? You said the showcase is on.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow in BST. It's like 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, so easy to tune into. I'm sure we'll have an article up about it shortly after.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be out there. Please check our website, thumbculture.co.uk. Oh, we got Profit. When I said plenty of times I wouldn't get an Xbox One, what ultimately made me get one was the promise of new games. Yep. It had Skyrim Special Edition, so it wasn't the console itself, it was the new games that coming out. And yeah, I think you're right, Profit. Probably bang on, to be fair. Like, unless your Xbox is dying, maybe you got like the first gen Xbox One, maybe you need a little upgrade. Other than that, I can't see nothing tempting people picking it up. Or unless they might pick up the S to go with their PS5.
Yeah, I think they've done a better job almost of telling you why you should get an Xbox if you don't already have one.
Yeah, that is it.
They've made it, you can do the thing where you pay like 20 quid a month or whatever, and you can get all these Game Pass games and all this.
So what is it, $29 a month? You get the Xbox One S and the Game Pass, which is everything.
I think the £30 one is the
Series
is
X, it? Right, okay.
It's the top one, and then I think it's 25 or 20 for the Series S, which is the lower spec.
You know, most people are going to look at that price, I think.
Might be a bit wrong.
That's great.
I mean, I think Eurogamer might have done the maths, and it actually works out cheaper as well.
Because with the Game Pass as well, because it's the Ultimate that would come with, wouldn't it? I think.
That's right. So you get your Xbox Live in there. You get obviously Ultimate, which gives you PC, xCloud, all this sort of stuff. So it does work out only like 15, 20 quid cheaper, but still cheaper in the long run. Yeah. So that's what they're banking on, I think, rather than people like me who get one anyway, but why should I?
I think
I'm not the target audience.
Yeah, and I think that is going to be the selling point. Basically, it's going to be those people. It's 25 a month, everything done. Don't have to worry about anything. Cool.
Yeah,
that's that's basically a Sky subscription. I think it is for like a cheap. You know what I mean? Like most people
or like a phone.
Do you know, phones? Some people pay £60-70 a month. So yeah, I know people who pay that. I know. They got too much money. But yeah, it is basically like having a phone, isn't it? It is that. You are right. But anyway,
So Sony's event tomorrow, and we'll see if Microsoft have anything. I mean, there'll be something before the end of the year. Don't get me wrong, but you would have thought they would have something imminent.
Yeah, we'll see. Right. Let's go on our main event, our feature. Fanboys. What is your? It's a weird one, Fanboys, because you can do it multiple ways. I feel, and the one place I've seen Fanboys happen is World of Warcraft. So you get the elitists, because there's a fine line between elitists and fanboys, I feel, as well. Like, it's not too dissimilar, but it is a little bit dissimilar, if that makes sense. So, like, fanboy will love a particular thing and will embrace everything, events, and maybe not as far as cosplay, but maybe even cosplay, they'll go into, like, that zone for the game, But you got the other side where the fanboy could also kind of be a little elitist as well, where it can go, it's this way and nothing else. It's a weird fine line. What do you think about when you're a fanboy?
See, for me, it's the difference between a fan and a fanboy. I always see the term fanboy as the derogatory, hates everything else. This is the thing they love.
Right. Okay.
And often it's, oh, that thing's rubbish over there because it's not this thing, rather than this thing's brilliant, but actually it also has these issues. So,
Right. Okay.
I think I think you're right though. There is often
There's a
fine
weird
line.
fine line because sometimes fanboyism can also go into elitism in a weird way that it would be like you just said, I don't like this, I like this, but this thing is probably actually maybe better or whatever over here, but they're just so much in the zone.
Yeah.
An example, a PCMR fanboy or an elitist. It's almost similar, you know? And to be fair, I've actually tried to Google it. I wanted a definitive answer. And I've seen, basically, you get a PC elitist versus a console fanboy. And that's all I've seen. Weirdly. Now, is fanboy, in gaming terms, the same as elitist in PC? I don't think so. What do you reckon?
Are you a fanboy of the word elitist?
Maybe.
Are you too protective?
Am I too protective? Oh, here we go. Oh my god, this is like Inception of. Oh no, this is going to get deep. Oh, strap in.
But yeah, for me, it's obviously I've been writing a lot of articles around the next gen.
Yeah.
And often during the next gen, as you've already mentioned, you get the brewing of the next wave of the console wars, which always winds me up because I get everything.
Yeah.
And it is so frustrating to be a fan of everything because you can't really find, even from like respected, in inverted commas, journalists, from forums, no matter where you look, there seems to be this whole attitude of, this is why insert console name here is better than insert other console name here.
So that particular person is a fanboy of that particular thing, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily giving an unbiased view or an unbiased argument towards stuff. And of course, you're always going to have opinions and things like that. But my word, does some of it really wind me up.
I mean, as a PC gamer, again, is that fanboyism? Probably. It's because I can't afford anything else. No, it's obviously you see just traveling the internet. Maybe if it's Twitter, Reddit, it's all sorts of crazy. And you get some people so, this is the right way. You're like, wow, you've gone. Maybe elitism is an extreme version of fanboy at that point, because they've gone so far down that path of, this is the way. They start telling people, everybody, this is the way. You know?
Yeah. It's particularly bad when you're looking at something dedicated.
Yeah.
So in order to help me sort of keep an eye on the news and write these articles that I write for our site, I've been looking on places like subreddits, for the various consoles. And depending on what's going on in the news, depends on what attitude you get.
Yeah, there's some wild stuff sometimes.
Yeah, something that made me chuckle recently and made me facepalm was last week Microsoft announced the Xbox Series S. So it's, lower spec, but with that, a bit more affordable, and they've revealed all these options for paying. And then, of course, we've already mentioned Game Pass, stuff like that. That news siloed off by itself is good news.
Yeah.
It's going to allow more people to buy stuff. Might not necessarily appeal to me. I'm not going to get one. I don't really have a need to get one. But it's a good announcement, cheap bit of hardware. It looked a bit janky, but when it's on your shelf,
it don't matter, does it?
I don't know. Like say some of the options were 20 quid or 30 quid or whatever it works out as, etc. Head over to the PlayStation 5 subreddit, because again,
of course,
everything. One of the top articles, and in Reddit you can pay and give people awards and all this business. One of the top articles was, oh, can we take a moment to celebrate how Sony haven't fractured their fan base with 2 different models of machine with different specs? And I was just like,
Oh,
what's this got to do
yeah,
with
it
anything?
has nothing to do with. Wow.
It's just fanboys going, ooh, ours is better because we've got this machine and not that machine, rather than people going, oh, look what they're doing. I wish I
Yeah.
could get a cheap PlayStation.
Yes.
Or, you know, it wouldn't appeal to me, but maybe my little brother could get one then, or my mate who can't afford one
Yeah.
could get one. But instead it's, ooh, that's rubbish news. Let's slag it off.
Yes, yeah, that is probably a good example of fanboyism. That one is without a doubt. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. That's ridiculous. I'm going to have to look at that article later and have a good old laugh, I think.
It's just like, come on,
yeah.
really?
I mean,
but then other stuff like Game Pass. We love Game Pass. It's become a bit of a parody.
I know, yeah, it has become a parody, but we do legit like Game Pass.
And then you'll see comments, on articles or again in subreddits or whatever, and people will be like, "Oh, it's just rubbish that you don't own anything and all that." And it's like, well, you don't have to sign up.
No. There is. I don't know if you've ever seen it, right? And you're gonna have to. And this is for people out there too. Go on Reddit and look at Epic fails, right? So Epic Launcher, and there's a whole
Epic
as in the company, as in the launch, so as in the company, there's a subreddit dedicated to how much Epic sucks. It is amazing. That is anti-fanboyism, I guess. Fanboyism against Epic. I don't really know at this point.
Be Steam fanboy, surely.
I want to say yes, actually. Looking at a lot of the comments, it was mainly aimed at Steam. And to be fair, I had actually an experience with Red Dead Redemption 2. I was on that subreddit, and somebody was complaining about how expensive Red Dead was on Steam. I think it was like £55 on Steam, which was crazy money. And I was like, oh, why don't you just go to the Rockstar site? It's 26 quid there. No, I'm not touching that. I'm wanting through Steam. But Steam actually launches the Rockstar launcher. But it's the fact that they wanted it, I was like, yeah, you carry on. And that was just really bizarre. But yeah, have a look at that subreddit. There's some amazing, including people whinging about free games. Free games.
That's the thing.
That's right, Prophet. People are dumb.
Yeah. It's especially baffling with PC. And, okay, you've got Steam, and it was wonderful that you could have all your games in one place. If you're not bothered about having to be online, etc., etc., there's pros and cons, just like anything else. But it was great. People are effectively whinging that they have to double click on a different
I know.
icon.
I mean, I think I'm on like 11 launchers, whatever. It's just a couple of extra meg. It's nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, it still works on your machine. Nothing's stopping you getting that game. And okay, they need to improve. Steam's been there so long, it does stuff that like modding and whatever else that I think Epic's missing. So there is room for improvement, but you're still just double clicking on a different
and actually, you just, if you want to, and I've done this with Game Pass purely because I like to keep like a few launchers open, not all of them, just so they update my games when they load up. Makes sense. You can actually add a non-Steam game to that list if you wanted to play it via Steam. And it's there.
Yes.
Like,
I've seen that.
What's wrong with that?
That's the thing. It's that baffle. A lot of people went, "Oh, imagine if Halo suddenly was exclusive to Sony," and it's like that's not the same. You'd have to buy a whole other machine.
Yeah, like
to play that game. You can still play this on your
my
machine.
worry is a lot of people just only want Steam. And at that point, it's almost similar to where consoles are almost one storefront. I know you get physical discs, but PC do not have discs.
Yes.
Like,
No.
I haven't bought a disc in 10 years. I don't have a drive. I haven't had it. It's my third machine. Don't have a drive. Whereas consoles at the moment do have discs. You do have that option. But they basically storefront. I think we were discussing it earlier, actually, with PlayStation. There's only... You may get a game or two on CD keys or places like that, but it'd be rare. And if people want to carry on down the Steam route, that's what's going to happen. We're going to have that same system. And I don't want that. I want the flexibility of looking for prices cheaper because I like a bargain. Like, who doesn't?
That's the thing. And I do wonder what's going to happen because I'm more of a console guy. I tend to get I have a mixture of physical and digital games purely because I chase the prices.
You've got to chase the price. And, you know, I've seen some crazy deals. I tell you, when Tony Hawk was coming out, and that annoyed me a little bit, actually. So that was maybe a little bit of fanboyism in me, that actually console for Tony Hawk is cheaper than PC because you could only buy it on Epic and nowhere CD keys or nothing like that, because Epic, when they're exclusive, locks them to that store. Unlike Steam, you can go off and get a key somewhere else probably. You can't do it with Epic. And they're 40 quid on Epic. That's it. So until they have a sale, you can't do it. So it's very similar, not the same, but similar, like how if Steam was locked down, that's what would happen.
Yeah, and that is a worry of mine with the consoles, because I'm very apprehensive about going fully digital. Even though I'd say I'm probably 90% of the way there, to be fair. Especially with, you know, you get your free games, then you've got your Game Pass and, you know, PS Plus games, stuff like that show up. So I am probably 90% digital, but I'm clinging on to those Blu-ray drives just because I can go on Amazon and go, oh, they're selling this for 15 quid. I might buy that. I've been wanting to play that.
No.
Whereas, like you say, once you're locked into the storefront, you know, they have sales, fine.
Yes.
You get loyalty points with Xbox and Nintendo.
Yes.
You get loyalty points as you spend money. But your options become very limited. It's the same argument, funnily enough, Epic having with
Yes,
Apple.
actually,
You've got one storefront and you can't do anything about it.
Which, ironically, that's what Epic got on PC when it goes exclusive. So it just hurts my head even more. And I'm like, oh, right, okay, right. But
that's the thing. They're trying to. I've said this before. It's probably a whole other debate, but they're trying to do the right thing in the wrong way.
Yes.
Trying to fix this
because they also too hard. Like, for example, Zombie Army 4. That, right, you could pick up on PlayStation 4 for about 15 quid at one point. It was only until the Epic sale, which was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that. Finally, I could get Zombie Army 4 for less than £30 on PC. So it's about 8 months. I was like, I have a thing. I don't like to spend more than £30 on a game because that's a lot of money every time you want to buy a game, and you can't be spending all that. And I don't have enough time to play all these games too. So if I have a budget and wait and stuff like that, but the problem is when your mates have got it, I bought it. I gotta go buy it now because I want to play it with you. You know, like that kind of thing. So, so a locked in storefront, but the fanboyism in that is mind blown. It's crazy, especially on PC.
That's the thing. Options are incredibly important.
Yes.
Competition is incredibly important. And you'll see stuff and something will get announced and they'll be like, oh, they're dead now. They're going to fail. And it's like, you don't want that to happen.
No, you want person, other than the person doing it, to have competition. You want two horses in a race, basically, as they say. That's what you need, at least.
If it wasn't for PlayStation struggling with the PS3, you wouldn't get free games on all these platforms.
Right,
they sort of introduced that, and then Epic do it and Xbox do it and all that sort of stuff. If it wasn't for the Xbox One being unsuccessful compared to the PS4, you wouldn't have Game Pass. You wouldn't have backwards compatibility. The competition is what makes it work. You don't
actually,
want
funny enough,
Xbox to fail or PlayStation.
You don't. You don't want that for being the opposite fanboy, I guess. You don't want it. The one thing I did see when Nvidia launched their cards, the amount of fanboyism from against AMD fanboys was bonkers. Including, because I think AMD unveiled, I should say, a bike. Did you see that? They made an AMD bike, basically. So everybody was as in like a push bike. Yeah, like it looked cool, but okay, cool. So the PCMR subreddit, that's a whole barrel of laughs sometimes. Even for me, I'm like, guys, seriously, this is just too much for me. They went on a meltdown when the NVIDIA cards came out. Look at NVIDIA, look at this could do. Look at you, AMD, you've got a bike. Really? Like, oh no. So that was quite an interesting time.
Yeah, but then that all kind of falls over because AMD are then the CPU.
They are just dominating then. And Intel need to sort their business out, I think, or doing something. And of course, that's one thing we didn't mention in the news, actually, was NVIDIA buying ARM, which $40 billion, that's a huge thing. And apparently they're making more jobs in the UK as well from it, which is pretty good.
It's money that you get to, and it's all just made up numbers.
Yeah, I know, yeah. 40 billion, like what?
They've just written some stuff down and they've gone fine, and they'll never see any of that. It's all just made up nonsense.
But like the fact that NVIDIA's stepping into the ARM side of stuff as well is cool. See what Intel does. And again, like you said, it will spark a little competition. But again, NVIDIA fanboys against the Intel fanboys and went on a bit of a like, oh wow, really? Can you just all just get along?
That's the thing, it's baffling. And the problem is it's this sort of blind fanboyism.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you have stuff like Nintendo who can release, I love Nintendo, don't get me wrong. Their Mario pack that is coming out is rubbish.
And did you see the link I sent earlier? Apparently it's an emulation anyway, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it's not even running natively or whatever. It's all just, it's rubbish. The laziest possible way of releasing that game. But obviously all the Nintendo fanboys are like, yeah, Mario.
It got sold out, didn't it? Physical copies most places.
And Nintendo learned nothing.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It's just like, no, they can do better. They just know they don't
have to because they got the fanboys. Yeah, they got the fanboys doing it.
Yeah. And it's infuriating.
Yeah, it's actually funny enough to our fanboys. There's an Apple event on now, actually, live, doing a bunch of stuff. Now, I think it's on now. I know this because one of the boys in another Discord I talked to, huge Apple fanboy, to the point it's like, what? No, I just gotta stop not looking at you. Come on now. But yeah, like this, I understand if you're comparing, that's cool, but it's like, it just gets to the point like, no, I'm gonna have to ignore you now. and that's the problem sometimes, fanboyism. You just gotta go, I just gotta walk away from anything I see because this is just bad.
Yeah. It's that whole culture. I think a lot of people don't understand that you can love something and criticize it. So I remember when with iPhone they released the phone with the horrible, I think they still have it, but that horrible
notch.
I
love the notch. I would love to get a phone with a notch. I think it's a good idea, but I haven't used mine with a notch, so I don't know.
It's like having a bottle in front of your TV.
I guess so, actually. I guess so. Yeah.
That's cut out. Just make the screen.
I think it's because I've got a Pixel 2 and it's such unused screen real estate is annoying, and I wish there was at least a notch just to add that extra bit of room, So I think that's why I probably like it.
Yeah, but all the fanboys couldn't have a single bad thing to say about the notch. Instead of the screen going up to the edge, like my...
I think most of them do it now, I think.
Yeah, I've got the Samsung S20, whatever it is, and it's got
the little
there. It's got
pinhole.
What's that? It's rubbish.
That's what the new Pixel are having now. 4A. It's like a little tiny little pinhole thing or whatever it is.
Get rid of front-facing cameras.
You probably don't need it, to be honest. No. To be fair, that might be a good thing to do. Just have one on the back, and I bet it'll sell. Yeah.
But the problem is they don't get criticised for these things. You'll have the Samsung fanboys going, yay, and buying it, or you'll get the Apple ones going, yay, a notch, and buying it all.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay to be a fan of something, but criticize it and not be happy with a certain.
That's all I can say. Most of these people aren't sports supporters of any type. That's all I can say. If you're a football fan, rugby fan, that's all most people do is complain about how bad their team is. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. But no, you are right. You just need to go, look, I like it, however.
Yeah.
And that's fine, isn't it? But they don't want to admit to it because they've invested money and
can't have weakness.
Yes, no weakness. Be strong.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that side of fanboys that wind me up. It's that whole blind, irrational love without any compromise.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was a little bit like that going from AMD to Intel. I didn't want. This is before AMD were good. This is back in the Phantom 2 days, so before the FX chip, when they were a bit naff, shall we say, before the Ryzen chips. So Intel were the dominant chip. And I didn't want to go to Intel because I was an AMD fanboy. I refused to look at the best specs. And then one day I went, yeah, they're better. And I just bought one. Now it's the other way around. You know, price per spec, you can't argue with the Ryzen prices. Sure, you can buy an Intel chip that technically performs, is it like 8% better than the top AMD? But you're spending over £1,000 for a chip. Not justifiable at that point, you know?
Sometimes it's also a lack of knowledge, though, isn't it? Because I
100% that, PC. Yes.
I think it was only this year I upgraded, and I had an i7.
Yeah.
And I was looking at whatever the latest i chip was, and then someone went, "Why don't you go AMD?" And I was like, I'd never really looked. I just went, "Well, I've had an i7, and what's the next one?"
Yes. And that's that's accidental fanboyism because you've just got the one you got. Safety fanboy. Should we just bring out safety fanboy? We're like, not on purpose liking it. It's just, I know what I'm used to. I'll just get the latest one. And that's it, isn't it?
And you look at it and you think, oh, actually, why haven't I looked at these AMD chips before?
Yes.
All the benchmarks are better and they're cheaper.
Yeah, I was even doing the same with my Intel chip. And it was actually one of the people that we discussed with in our Discord, who loves their PC stuff. And he was like, you should check these benchmarks. I was like, do you know what? I will. And to be fair, I was like, yeah, I don't know why I was smoking at that point. AMD are better price per spec, you know? So, you know, but I was a little, so I went from Fanboyism AMD to Intel, and then now I'm back, less of the Fanboy AMD now, but you could see more clearly where it's price per spec, where it lies. If Intel came out and went boom, you're like, oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, it is a little safety fanboyism. Got a new one. I'm sure it's a thing.
We'll patent it.
We're going to patent it. That's it now. TC. But yeah, it's a weird world. Like, I think as well, because everybody is online in many forms, people can voice whatever they want at any time.
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors is exactly that. Yes. And it's really easy to do as well. I think that, like, you know, I'm thinking back the day before you had to go dial up the internet. People can be bothered sometimes to dial up, so you wouldn't see it into magazines. Yeah, and then you get some angry letters or something. But yeah, now I think it's just too easy. So you see this fanboyism, elitism, and all the rest. We just and especially when the change of consoles come in, who is better than the other? You certainly see a lot more at that point, don't you?
That's saying it's okay to be invested in an ecosystem.
Yes.
But to respect the other ecosystem and think about what happens if I get that. I find it incredibly infuriating listening to some podcasts now I've just stopped listening to, because instead of just talking about Nintendo, they'll just never have a bad word to say, and it's like,
right.
But you need to have that critical view.
You do.
It's just no matter what happens, it's like yay. And it
do you know what? Funny enough, I actually talking about that. I actually saw a good comment on Reddit earlier about, and this is a little fanboyism actually, maybe breaking it. So Nintendo Switch got the online system, and the guy was like, basically, it's kind of pointless. You kind of get games, you kind of got to play online, but you got no voice, no chat, no nothing. And literally, the first comment was, like that was it. That was it, and I'm like, oh wow. I just remember because I was just looking at some Nintendo stuff cropped up, and I was like, yeah, that's a fanboy right there. They didn't even consider that you get nothing basically from this online. They're just charging you just to play online. But even just trying to talk to, like, the guy actually gave a good example of, I got a mate, I want to play with my mate, but I've got to do X, Y, and Z just to get him on voice so I could play with him on a Switch. It's like, you shouldn't be able to do that. You should be just click to anything else, talk with your mate, play your game. I guess Switch was always designed for maybe the going over your mate's house with your Switch to play it, perhaps?
Yeah, local co-op. And
the local co-op
on that is obviously... It's leagues ahead of the other consoles.
Yes, which I understand, but in this trying time, should we call it, it's a bit difficult to go over your mate's house, especially where I'm living at the moment as well. So everybody's coming up with some random voice stuff just to play, and you know. But like, the first comment was meh. That was brilliant.
I use the Switch Pro controller.
Oh, the Pro controller is the greatest controller and I'm not a fan of controllers. For me, it fits my hand perfect because I got broken fingers here. I know, I can't hold a PS4 Xbox pad very well, but something about the Pro controller, maybe it's not as deep, I don't know, fits perfect.
It's a nice pad, but someone pointed out to me and I hadn't clicked.
Yes.
It doesn't have a headphone jack.
That's just ridiculous. Do you know what? I didn't realize until you said it that it didn't have it. And I actually got the Smash Brothers controller because I had the Smash Brothers Switch, which will be matching, and went, no, it does not. Brilliant.
I've got an Xbox pad and PS4 and whatever, and there's just, headphones.
It's got everything in it. Yeah.
PS4 one, wherever that is.
I've even got an Xbox pad on the PC, but
nothing. But that's the thing is simple stuff like that. Like I can plug a headset into the Xbox pad and do the game. It doesn't have to be party chat. I can play it with the TV off, the surround sound off.
Yeah.
Play a game and have the sound, from the game, or like you say, if you're in a party, you've got your chat there. But the Switch, you can't even do that.
No. There you go. Bada boom, bada boom. Welcome to the chat. Actually, I said that. Bada boom, I should say. Sorry about that. I just sounded right. Bada boom, bada boom. He said exactly right. Nintendo Party Chat is a major oversight. Should have been included. The Nintendo Party Chat app. Have you ever used that app?
I've not even installed it.
It's literally on your phone for starters, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't even have a headphone socket on my phone. Great.
Actually.
So it is awful, and apparently it's awful quality when it works. Yeah. Right. I've got my Switch hooked up to my monitor, and I got the Arctis 7, which has the little puck, which can have input sound. So I put a headphone jack into the Switch, into the puck. I shouldn't need to do that. Get sound. Hi, Squan.
Yeah, I only use the Nintendo Online because I wanted to play Tetris 99.
I bought it. Yeah, I haven't played it. I bought it to play Diablo. Diablo online. Because I literally bought a Switch so I can have a portable Diablo device, basically.
Good.
And it's a shame that hasn't got cross-play, right? But whatever. And Rocket League now, 23rd, which all my stuff would be over on it, which would be great.
Yeah. And that's another fanboy thing that came up because of...
Oh, go on.
Because Rocket League is leaving Game Pass because it's going free.
It was on Game Pass, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it is on console. I don't know about PC,
okay.
but it's on Game Pass, and everyone's like, "Ooh, it's leaving Game Pass," and it's like, "Yeah, it's going free. Why would it be on Game Pass?" But
Yeah.
obviously, the anti-Xbox fanboys are like, "You're losing a game on your precious service," and it's like, well, yeah, but we're not because it's
No,
going to be free.
this is free. Just like
Yeah,
Fortnite is. It's free. Like,
it's like, yeah, it's just the
to be
fanboys
fair,
going,
I haven't looked at, because obviously it's leaving Steam. So if you already owned it, you can still play it, but you can no longer buy it through Steam. You got to buy it or download it now through Epic. But you just link the account when it comes up tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow you can link your accounts up tomorrow. Apparently, you can do that beforehand. So that's kind of cool. But I've seen a couple of comments of just, why is it leaving Steam? Because it's owned by Epic. I don't understand. Like, it's the same as Fortnite. Like, yeah. So that's been a weird one as well.
just click a different icon.
Yeah. But I already have it in Steam. Apparently, that just will work and carry on and update.
Yeah.
So
I think I don't think I've ever played it on PC, so I'll probably grab it on Epic. Now it's free.
Yes.
Because I tend to play it because it's on Game Pass. I tend to play it on the Xbox, but
yeah,
thankfully, like you say, because you've got that cross progression and stuff, I'll probably end up downloading it on everything, and it's a little.
What's really annoying, I managed to pick up Rocket League for a $5 on the Switch a week before it announced it was going free to play. I only played it for about an hour, to be fair, on the Switch. So I was like, okay, let me go to the Nintendo store, see if I can get a refund. Bold letters. We do not offer refund for games.
Oh,
just
okay.
Don't offer refund for games. Regardless of whatever you do, they just don't offer refund.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
And then I'm surprised. Well, one, I'm surprised they can get away with that.
I know, yeah. It's literally in the middle. Like, boom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's why Nintendo
it is mean square.
get away with it, because
because nobody's queried it, nobody's questioned it. When this whole Epic thing where they were like, they don't offer refund, the internet went ablaze, and then they put it in. Why did they just do that to Nintendo? They sort half their stuff out.
yeah, but they famously have the issue with the Joy-Cons. I'm fortunate I've not had the issue with the,
I haven't had no Joy-Con drift.
I've had
either,
mine since launch and no problem, so it's clearly not every Joy-Con.
No.
But that did take people taking them to court for them to acknowledge it. And even then it almost feels like it gets swept.
They basically just got some free Joy-Con replacements and they were happy, Bada bada boom. You paid full price for Rocket League and then it went a $5 the next day. I do hate that. It happens to stuff in general half the time. Like I'm looking at the DLC, the upgrade on PES now. It's 16 quid on CD keys. It's dropped 2 quid since yesterday. But do I buy it now or do I wait till tomorrow? Will it drop again? I just don't know.
It's like stocks.
It could go. It is like stocks. You just don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm in a bit of a dilemma myself. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
But, yeah. It is a tough one. Yeah, I think Konami? Is that Konami? Konami, sorry. Yeah, they usually drop pretty quick, to be fair. Yeah, that's true.
Do you wait, or are your mates going to be playing it?
I know somebody's already bought it today to play it today, and I'm like, you. And this is why I'm even more dilemma, because my mate's bought it. And when that happens, you're like, I need to buy it then, I guess. Decision made, I suppose. Damn you. But there you go. Anyway, we've been going an hour.
Yeah.
Fanboys. Have we been fanboying about Game Pass? Probably.
True.
No, we know. There are no other Game Passes out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd like other companies to copy. You get like what's it called? PS Now. That's about, but it's not.
I guess you've got Ubisoft, and of course it was, or still is, the
EA
Origin, but EA Play. But they're
nothing's
not
quite like that. They're all publisher based, whereas Microsoft's more platform based, I suppose.
Yeah. which would be maybe Steam. No, I doubt that.
Yeah. I mean, Steam. If Steam ever came up with something like Game Pass, they would probably destroy everything. They've
yeah,
got obviously
they really
access
would.
to such a rich library that they could probably.
They would just run wild with it, really, wouldn't they? Called the Bada Bada Boom PlayStation FT Dub. Fair enough. There you go.
Sounds
Fanboy right there. That was very fanboyish, right? Love it. You've got to love a little fanboyism in our chat. Brilliant. Right, that is us for this week. There's 2 weeks in a row we've hijacked TC Talk. Hijacked. I've tried to host. Hopefully Stu is back next week to do a better job than me. But yes, look at you. Discord is out there. Twitter's out there. For people listening on the podcast, basically, if you come to our Twitter, everything's there. You find our website. You find all the other places we've got our podcasts. You find our Discord. Just come and chat to us. And if we said anything wrong in this podcast, please tell us. Because, we don't want to be wrong. We want facts. We're facts-based, not made up stuff.
Fanboys of the truth.
Fanboys of the truth. Oh, I love that. That is the tagline. Fanboys of the truth. Lovely. Prophet, always a pleasure to see the God of Mods in our chat stream. I hope you download our pod too. But yes, that is us. That is a good night for me.
And good night from me. And now I have to go work.
Oh no. Bye.